Nora Pennington parked her 1973 mail truck in front of the town's haunted house and cut the engine. Her truck, which was canary yellow with a rainbow of colorful books dancing across both side panels, looked out of place on the lonely street. A funeral carriage, drawn by a pair of black horses, would be more fitting. Nora grabbed the paper shopping bag stamped with the Miracle Books logo and let out a sigh. It had been a long day, and she was ready to go home. Instead, she was delivering used books to one of her most eccentric and unusual customers. Few residents of Miracle Springs, North Carolina, had seen the woman who lived alone in the Gothic mansion next to the old cemetery. Because of that, all kinds of rumors surrounded Lucille Wynter. People called her a snob. They called her a witch. They decided she was too ill, or too infirm, or too paranoid to leave her crumbling estate. They complained about her overgrown yard and the deplorable condition of her house. Children dared one another to touch the front door or batter the shale gray clapboard with raw eggs on Halloween. Nora had been delivering books to Lucille for several years now, and after visiting her once or twice a month, she'd learned that the old woman was a recluse. She never left Wynter House. Never. And no one was ever invited inside. Not even Nora. Though she was one of the few people who regularly visited Lucille, she'd never made it past the boot room. This small, square chamber behind the kitchen was uncomfortably cold in the winter and oppressively stuffy in the summer. The only furniture was a pair of cane chairs and an old piano stool that served as a table. A threadbare rug covered the dusty floorboards. Cobwebs gathered in every corner and clung to the window glass. Insect corpses cluttered the sills. Year after year, the room remained unchanged, as did Lucille's rules. From day one, she'd told Nora to do exactly as she said. If Nora made a single misstep, she'd no longer be welcome on Lucille's property. The first rule was to enter the boot room and ring the doorbell outside the kitchen door. After that, she was to sit down to wait, anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes. Lucille Wynter was old and frail. She did not move quickly, and her routines were as rigid as a steel beam. For example, she always asked Nora to identify herself before she'd crack the kitchen door. After peering out to confirm that Nora was who she claimed to be, Lucille always said, "Stay where you are. I'll make the tea." The preparation would take another 5 to 10 minutes, but eventually Lucille would appear in the doorway, a dainty porcelain teacup balanced in her trembling hand. The cup would rattle on its saucer until tea sloshed over the rim, but Nora had learned to stay seated and to keep her mouth shut. Lucille didn't like anyone to come too close, and offers of assistance put her in a foul mood. "My home is my whole world," she told Nora the first time they'd met,